Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky hailed his country's strikes into Russia's Kursk region in an Independence Day statement. According to Associated Press, U.S. Special Envoy Keith Kellogg was in attendance at Independence Day celebrations in Kiev, during which Zelensky awarded him the Ukrainian Order of Merit, of the first degree. On Monday, Kellogg said that officials are working very, very hard on efforts to end the three-year war between Russia and Ukraine, as a lack of progress fuels doubts about whether a peace settlement could be on the horizon. A week ago, Trump said he had set in motion arrangements for direct peace talks between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Zelensky. But Russian officials have signaled that such a summit won't happen anytime soon. Russia accused Ukraine on Sunday of launching drone attacks that sparked a fire at a nuclear power plant in its western Kursk region. Russian officials said several power and energy facilities were targeted in the overnight strikes. Ukraine did not immediately comment on the alleged attack. Russia's defense ministry claimed its air defenses intercepted 95 Ukrainian drones over Russian territory on Saturday night into Sunday. It reported intercepting a further 23 Ukrainian drones overnight and Monday morning over 7 Russian regions, both on or near the border with Ukraine and deeper inside Russia. Ukraine has continued long-range drone attacks on Russia, hitting oil refineries, armories and transport hubs and causing commercial flight disruption during the summer vacation period. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched 104 strike and decoy drones overnight, targeting the country's north and east. There were no immediate reports of damage or casualties.
Так б'є справедливість. Так б'є Україна, коли її заклики до миру не чують. Скільки разів ми пропонували припинення вогню, скільки разів ми казали, ми хочемо тиші, ми прагнемо миру, але достойного і всеосяжного, і тому розраховуємо на силу всього світу. Ось така Україна тепер. Ось така Україна ніколи більше в історії не буде примушена до сорому, який русські називають компроміс. Нам потрібен справедливий мир. Сьогодні і США, і Європа погоджуються. Україна ще не перемогла, але вже точно не програє. Україна виборола свою незалежність. Україна не жертва, вона боєць. Україна не просить, вона пропонує союзництво та партнерство. Найкращу армію в Європі.
Norway's multi-billion-dollar military and civilian support for Ukraine's fight to defeat Russia's invasion will stretch into next year, Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store said Monday during a visit to Kiev, as uncertainty surrounds US-led efforts to secure a peace settlement. According to Associated Press, Store, whose country borders Russia, told a news conference with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that Ukraine is defending a critical principle on the European level by refusing to accept Russia's seizure of territory. A stream of high-ranking visitors to Kiev in recent days reflects concerns around the US-led peace drive, as President Donald Trump weighs how to proceed with no sign of a breakthrough.
Перш за все, хочу подякувати за рішення виділити $700 мільйонів на закупівлю системи ППО Петріот. І вчора це було оголошено, і це відчутно посилить захист неба. Дякую, йдеться про закупівлю саме таких систем, з якими у нас, ви знаєте, дефіцит, є проблеми. Системи цього типу вже врятували тисячі життів наших людей і дуже якісно збивають російську балістику.
What kind of security guarantees could
У нас ряд відбулось зустрічей, і сьогодні буде зустріч з Келлогом на продовження цієї тематики, в розвиток, підготовки щодо можливості майбутніх зустрічей з російською стороною. В кінці тижня буде зустріч української команди і американської команди, відповідно тих людей, про якого ви сказали, або частини тих людей. Буде впродовж тижня багато роботи.
Організацію якої мали би відповідати американці Рубіо, Ванс та Вітков. Чи є деталі?
There is discussions among your partners on reliable security guarantees that can enter into force after there is a fair and lasting peace, so that Ukraine can avoid having another aggression coming at its people. Norway has been part of those discussions since the beginning. We will continue to be there. And my conviction is that the biggest and most significant security guarantee we can provide is strengthening Ukraine's defense capacity in all dimensions. And Norway has, since the beginning, been guided by the following principle: responding to Ukrainian needs, delivering material that can be made operational immediately.
President Donald Trump told reporters on Monday that he called with Russian President Vladimir Putin last week after Trump hosted his Ukrainian counterpart along with NATO leaders. According to Associated Press additionally, just before wrapping up his comments in the Oval Office, Trump said the administration would soon be reducing drug prices anywhere from 1,000% to 1,500%. He noted that many other countries pay far less for prescription drugs than people do in the US. Trump made a similar promise earlier in August. Drug prices obviously cannot be reduced more than 100%, but experts have told the Associated Press that while the Trump administration has taken steps to lower prescription drug prices, there's no indication costs have dropped such a massive drop.
Spoken to Putin since last Monday.
Yeah, I have.
What is your conversation? Or can you share?
Every conversation I have with him is a good conversation, and then unfortunately a bomb is loaded up into Kiev or someplace, and then I get very angry about it. I think we're going to get the war done. It's tough. I thought that would be, of the 7 that I settled, I thought that would be the easiest of the group. See, you never know what's going to happen. You know, war, strange things happen in war. The fact that he went to Alaska, our country, I think was a big statement that he wants to get it done. That was not easy for him to go to Alaska, you know, for him to come here. But the fact that he showed up on a very successful day, it was a very successful day for other things, because, you know, we're also talking about missiles, nuclear. We're talking about a lot of different things. We're talking about limiting nuclear weapons. We'll get China into that. We have the most. Russia has the second most, and China has third, but China is way behind, but they'll catch us in 5 years. We would like to denuclearize. It's too much power, and we talked about that also. That's part of it, but we have to get the war over with.
Why do you think President Putin is so reluctant to meet with President Zelensky?
Because he doesn't like him. He doesn't like him, you know? They don't like, I have people I don't like. I don't like to meet with them. Sometimes I do like to meet with people I don't like.
So how do you get them together?
They don't like each other, really. We have something coming up, favored nations, where I'm going to be reducing drug prices by 1,500% where a pill that sells in Germany for $10 costs $150 here because of the bad price. And I was all set to do it, and then we had the COVID come up, and I had to focus on that because we had the greatest economy in history my first term. I will tell you that we are going to be doing numbers on the cost of drugs in this country that I'm not talking about a 20% decrease, which would be great. I'm talking about 1,000% decrease. We're talking about where a product would sell for $80 in Germany and $1,300 here. And we're not going to do that.
Mr. President, do you plan to investigate Chris Christie?
Saying what?
Do you plan to investigate Chris Christie?
Look, Chris is a slob. Everybody knows it. I know Chris better than anybody in the room. I always felt he was guilty. But what he did is he took the George Washington Bridge, which is very serious. He closed down the George Washington Bridge. And you had medical people, you had ambulances caught up. This thing was closed down. And obviously he knew about it. But he blamed the young lady that worked for him and another person, and they got into a lot of trouble. She ultimately was, I don't know, exonerated, but she got out of it a little bit. But she went through hell. She was a young mother, nice person. I knew her a little bit. And another man went to jail. and Chris got off. And so when I listen to Chris speak his hate, I say, oh, what about the George Washington Bridge? You know, tell me about the George Washington Bridge. He blamed other people, but he knew all about it. So no, I don't know if they want to look at it. It's not for me. If they want to look at it, they can. You could ask Pam. I think we have other things to do, but I always thought he got away with murder.